Hey fifth graders, it's Mrs. Tremblay, and today we are going to look at the coordinate plane. So you're going to need the 2 pages that are attached in order to take notes on this, and you'll need a pencil. So here we go. What is the coordinate plane, you say? A coordinate plane is formed by the intersection of a horizontal number line called the x-axis and a vertical number line called the y-axis. So when I say intersection, it's where they would cross. So down here, if you take a look at your graph, notice there's a line here and there's a little x. This is the x-axis, and that's a horizontal line. And this vertical line is the y-axis. And there's actually, this is only one section. There's actually 4 sections to this, but in 5th grade, you only have to look at this first section, which is called quadrant 1, where all the numbers are positive. There are some negative sections as well, but we're not gonna do that in 5th grade. Unless, I want to extend it at some point in time. That could happen. But for now, we're just going to focus on this. Notice there's a 0 right here. This right here is called the origin. We'll get to that in a second. So an ordered pair is used to describe the location of any point in the coordinate plane. An ordered pair is given or listed as an x-coordinate and a y-coordinate. So there might be times where I give you an ordered pair and they would have a number here and a number here. And there are other times where I have a dot and a graph and I ask you to give me the ordered pair. So that's an x-coordinate and a y-coordinate. You tell me the x movement first and then the y movement second. And here it says the origin of the coordinate plane is at the point 0, 0. So right here, that's the origin. The origin is pretty important because this is where you always start when you're plotting or listing out an ordered pair. So when you're graphing an ordered pair or you're listing out one that's already given to you, that's how you give that to me, starting at the origin. So we're going to go ahead and list all the ordered pairs for points A through J. I didn't include I because it looked like a lowercase L, and I was just back and forth, so I took it off. So in case you're wondering, does Mrs. Tremblay not know her alphabet? I do. I just left the I off. Put a little reminder to yourself here that it goes X and then Y. And I think it also might be helpful for you to draw a little arrow. The X-axis is the horizontal, so this tells me your movement horizontally from the origin, and the Y tells you your vertical movement from that point. So let's go ahead and check it out here. We have A. All right, so to get to A, I'm gonna go to the origin. And the first thing we do is we list our x coordinates. So you tell me how far on the x-axis you moved to get underneath that A. And as I move over, I see that it's 9 over from 0. So for point A, I'm gonna write my parentheses. They should all be listed like that. I'm gonna write a 9 and then a comma. That is not a decimal point, it's a comma. Now to give me the y coordinate, I'm right here. You tell me how far up you would go. And as I follow it up, I see that we went up 5. You could also go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That would be fine. But when there's numbers on the x and y axis, you could just follow it over and see, oh, I just went up 5. So the second number would be 5 and close up those parentheses. All right, same thing for B. Here's B. I'm gonna start at my origin again. And I notice that in order to get underneath this B, it looks like I have to go over 12 to get underneath that. Yep. So my first number in my ordered pair, my x coordinate would be 12. And then I'm gonna see how far on the y-axis do I go, how far up. So from here, as I follow it up to the B, I notice as I move over that I went up 12. And again, you could also go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. But 12, 12 is the ordered pair. I did that so you could understand that, yes, it is possible to have the same 2 numbers. It's okay. All right, C, where is C? Oh, C is not on this one. I forgot one. So on the notes we do in class, I'll have it. Where shall we put C? I think a good spot for C would be, how about right here? This will be C, because I don't see it. All right, so C is over 3, up 4. So we go over 1, 2, 3, and up 1, 2, 3, 4 to get there. 3, 4. So I'm gonna write 3, 4. Okay. D is right here, right on this line. It's right on the x-axis. So I'm gonna start from the origin and I do my x movement first. And it looks to me like we go over 6 to get there. So I know that my first number in the ordered pair is 6. How far up do I have to move to get there? None. You didn't move, did you? So 0 movement equals 0. So 6, 0. Point E is right on the y-axis. So notice, okay, here I am at the origin. How far over do I have to go to get underneath the E? Nothing. I didn't have to move. That means my first number in the ordered pair would be 0. And my y-axis movement, I have to go up 10 to get there. So 0, 10. And you might be thinking, well, does it matter if I tell you the x first or the y? It does. These are directions. It's like telling me the directions backwards on the way there if you don't give it to me as x, y. And you're never going to get anywhere if that happens. All right, F. Here's F. I'd go over 2 and up 7. So 2, 7. And G is right here. And if you wanted to, pause and try the next 3 on your own and then press play. You're more than welcome to do that. So here's G. I'm going to go back to the origin. And as I go over, it looks like I had to go over 10 to get underneath it. So I know that 10 is my first number. And then as I follow it up to the G, I notice I went up 9 to get there. 10, 9. And again, you could be counting as well. If there weren't numbers here, you would go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then we go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All right, H, here's H. For H, I went back to the origin. I had to go over 13 on my x-axis and up 1 on my y-axis. And for J, all the way up here, we had to go over 5 on the x-axis, and then up, bum, 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 bum. As I followed over, we had to go up 14. So that's how you would list out the ordered pair. Again, it always goes X, then Y, and you're always starting at the origin. Now I want us to do the opposite on that second sheet. I'm giving you the ordered pair, and you're going to plot it on the grid. So again, remember, when I give you the ordered pair, I give it as X, Y, or as over and then up. And yes, you should write that. That would be good to have in your notes. So the first one we want to do is 5, 4 for letter K. So I'm going to go to my grid. I'm going to start at 0, 0, and that first number tells me how far over. So I'm going to go over 5 and up. I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, and then make sure that it matches over here. It does. Now, don't just leave it like that because you're going to have like 12 dots on here. I need to know which one that is. It has a letter K in front of it. So I'm going to write a K nice and close to that dot. Okay, so K is done. Next, we have L. L is located at 1, 9. So go to your origin, start at 0, 0. That 1, 9 means I go over 1 and I go up 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And I make sure that it matches, and it does. So I'm going to put a dot, and that is L. I'm going to write an L nice and close to it and check it off that it's done. M is at 2, 0. So if I go back to my origin, that 2 means from the origin I go over 2, and then I go up 0. I'm not going to move. I stay right there, and that is M. N is 0, 4. 0, 4. So when I go to my origin, if I'm supposed to go over 0, that means I stay put, and that 4 means up 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that is N. Check. Okay. P, 12, 14. So that means over 12. So right 12, up 14. So I'm going to follow it over. Here's 12. And then you can follow up if you want. Like we see where the 14 is, and you can just make your way to where they would meet. Or if you're down here at 12, we can count. So if this is 12, I'm at 0, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. then I put my dot. And then I can follow it over to make sure that it landed at that 14, which it did. We're so good at this. P, check. Okay, Q is 14.3. And again, if you're like, I got it, Miss Trombley, go ahead and press pause and then press play when you're done and make sure your answers match mine. So 14.3, I'm gonna start at the origin. I'm gonna go over 14, and then I'm gonna go up 3. So 1, 2, 3. Notice this is not 1. I didn't move. Now I moved. That's 1. That's 2. That's 3. So I am at Q. Check. R is right 5, up 11. So go back to the origin. Right 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we go up 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And then I follow it over and make sure, yep, I'm in the right spot. That is R. Check. S is 9, 7. So that means right 9, up 7. So go back to the origin. And I want to go right 9. So there's my 9. And I want to go up 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I put my dot, make sure, yep, there's a 7 and there's our 9. We're good. List my S. For T, we have 0, 10. That means I go over 0 and up 10. So I'm just going to follow this right up here to where I see this 10. There it is. And put a T. U is 10, 0. Opposite of that. It's not the same. So that means I want to go over 10 from here. So here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And since I want to go up 0, I'm just going to put it right on the x-axis. Boom. U. Done. We're almost there. Right, letter V is 0, 0. Isn't that where I start all my movements? So if I'm right here, over 0, up 0, right there. That's the origin at V. Check that off. And our last one is 8, 8, because we are allowed to have the same X and Y. So I would go over 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And notice this is not 1. This is 0, 1. So I'm at 8, and then I want to go up 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And put my W. And that, my friends, is how it's done. See you soon.